Hi, and welcome to the VAHOMA podcast, episode 5. I'm Tim Abbott. With me is Chris Mason.
Hello, hello.
And Andrew Smith.
What's up?
Bert won't be able to join us this episode, which is kind of funny. Not funny, but sad.
Mm,
He's bowling in Roanoke right now, apparently.
bowling.
Some bowling tournament thing he's got
Oh,
going.
tournament. Okay, I
Something.
maybe I'll let him get away with that one.
Yeah, we'll allow it. And Andrew, you're back.
I'm
Yeah.
here.
You're not dying anymore.
No.
So, well, that's good.
Yes.
So we talk about video games and all that fun stuff after our random banter that we just did.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll do some fun at the end that we like to do just to change up the pace a little
I
bit.
like fun.
Fun is fun.
Fun is fun.
That goes on
Fun
a
is
shirt.
fun.
I should go goes on a shirt. Bahoma podcast. Fun is fun.
3 exclamation points after it.
At least 3. I'll do 4. So there's
Do
4
4.
of us.
Why
So,
not?
I got an idea for a shirt now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
So we're going to talk a few things. Getting ready for E3 coming up on this weekend and put some games and stuff we've been playing last month. So first things first we'll talk about is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. So Andrew.
Yay. I'm in love with this game. It's like, this is like as most time as I've put into an RPG since like Fallout. Because, I mean, the world is beautiful. I mean, even like every little side quest that you have, there's a little bit of story in there that kind of keeps you going to go through, and nothing really seems repetitive. Like, go get this. Oh, you got it. Thank you.
Yeah. I have spent a whopping 2 hours and 30 minutes playing that game.
Easy now.
Careful. I just got to the first, I did the first boss thing, the
Oh,
Griffin.
okay.
That was the first
Did
thing.
that.
I beat that, and then I went to the castle thing to talk to the dude or something like that. And
Then
then
you go somewhere else.
he's telling me to go somewhere else. I think I stopped after that.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, I like it. I'm not a big RPG person.
Yeah.
So
That's a hefty RPG.
yeah.
Like, there's. I mean, you guess you could say Borderlands is like a good RPG.
Well,
So
yeah.
with like buffing up your character and stuff like that. And like, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
this is just
Witcher has a lot going on in it, and
so much.
it's
All right, let me ask a question.
Uh,
What is the difference between... I have Witcher 2, okay? I haven't gotten hooked. I won't say it turned me off. I just haven't gotten hooked with Witcher 2 because it just seems like it's like Elder Scrolls. It's just so many different little itty bitty things to deal with, and I'm like, I just want to get into the game and play some. What's the difference between Witcher 2 and Witcher 3? Because I'm hearing nothing but great things, but I feel let down with Witcher 2.
I haven't played Witcher 2. I mean,
Okay.
like,
yeah, the other
so
one, I wouldn't know.
Okay.
the thing that got me hooked is just pretty much the hype and all the pre-stuff, like stuff like IGN and other websites. They were just saying how good it was, and
Well, yeah, and then
I like
that
RPGs.
podcast Unlock group we're a part of on Facebook, all he did was talk about the
Yeah.
Witcher, to where I just was like, well, now I gotta know.
yeah, I mean it's definitely a deep RPG. I mean, there's after you haven't even seen the second area you can go to. I mean,
I haven't seen barely anything of that game.
it's huge. Like,
Now, this is one of those things for me, when it comes to RPGs and stuff along those lines, especially with this game, is I know they want you to do the side quest stuff.
Mhm.
They're like, you have to do the side quest stuff to level up. I know that. I get that.
mhm.
At the same time, my brain doesn't turn off where it's like, the story mission will be like, you have to go here right now. We need to find this person right now. So, of course, my thought process is like, well, I need to do that mission now. And I don't want to spend 4 days going through the side mission stuff. And even though I know it has no effect on the game, but the effect on my mind, I guess, would be I need to go. They're saying we need to find this guy right now.
Yeah.
So that means we got to go right now.
Yeah, that's like
So
a
it's
trope that all RPGs pretty
So
much
is
have.
it like Skyrim? Because
No.
Skyrim is as good as a game as it gets, and I love Skyrim,
Mhm.
but I hate Skyrim.
Really?
I will never beat Skyrim. I done put about 40, 50 hours into it, and all I have is about 152 open quests now. And I'm not even into the second story mission, really, just because it's one of those, go over the hill. What's here?
Yeah.
A cave. What's over here? What's this? Just deeper and deeper. Next thing I know, I'm 17 miles away from where I was originally going to go.
Yeah. That's what I like. That's what I like about big open RPGs like that. You can, if you,
Well,
you can,
I do, but there gets to be a point where it needs to draw the line a little bit more because, that was I know Halo is not an RPG, but that is why the original Halo, I put it down for over a year because I first got the Warthog and I'm running around the map, and I'm like, where do I go? And I got lost, and I was like, this place is gorgeous. But I'm tired of looking at gorgeous.
The second mission in that thing is it's.
I get lost every time.
Yeah, it's every time.
So I put it down for over a year. The only reason I
just
picked
played
it back up is because you
still got
guys.
freaking lost.
Yeah.
So no, I get that. I mean, for The Witcher, I mean, for me, it's like I guess trying to talk about the story and some of those lines, like I don't know the backstory behind it and all those other phrasings and everything like that.
You can put stuff like put bad guys out there that are going to wipe the floor with you. Obviously, I'm not supposed to be here. I can figure that out. Not let me go 17 miles before I realize I shouldn't be over here anywhere near this area right now.
That's when you tell Roach your horse to get the blank out of there.
Same time with Roach. Oh my god! Like I like the idea of you can get him going, and then it's like he stays on the path. But when the path forks, and I'm supposed to go to the right, and every time he goes to the left.
You better be ready to tap the joystick over to go the right way.
He never turns correctly.
Funny thing about Roach, there's no spoilers. I'll just go do an instance, but I have to go fight something, and there's walls. It's in a cemetery. There's walls all around it. I walk in with Roach, do my thing. Monster appears. And Roach is going nuts. He's just going all over the place, and you have to hit A to dodge. And that's the same thing to mount the horse. So I'm hopping on and off of Roach, getting nailed by this thing. I barely make it out alive, but I was cursing at the TV a lot.
That's the other thing that's really funny is I see third person open world things. So it's like, oh, get on horse. Why? I think GTA controls Red Dead Redemption. It's all Y to get on the horse. So it's like my brain went there, and so it's like, why? Nope, that swings the sword. So I'm like, next thing I was swinging over here somewhere.
It's like when you switch up melees, and it's like, okay, I'm going to melee. No, you throw a grenade, and vice versa.
Yeah, but the main thing, the combat to me in The Witcher is really refined. I mean, you can't just button mash and go through a bunch of enemies. You have to wait, kind of parry, fall back, and just the monsters are just cool looking. And all the lore, I just love that deep fantasy
It's a cool
stuff.
world. So fantasy stuff's really cool. Like for me, again, I guess the phrasing and stuff along those lines when it's the magic ability that you have.
Mm-hmm.
It has some whatever they call it,
signs.
The signs or something like AERI, whatever the heck it is, a sign kind of thing. And it's like, why can't you just call it a fire blast? Why can't you just call it shield? Why can't you just call it telekinesis? I know that, but it's just why can't the parentheses underneath it?
I may have read the books, a couple of the books that have been transcribed into English.
Wow,
so I just like that. That world is just so cool to me. The past year and a half,
you read a book. Wow.
Yeah.
You look about.
I thought I had an obsession with Destiny, but this might be starting to rival that.
No, not even close.
Okay, never mind.
I mean, the world. I mean, it's just every side quest is just a cool storyline. Of course, I won't go into spoil. I mean, it's just all really in depth.
So you're saying you would recommend it?
I would highly recommend it if you like RPGs.
Jinx.
Oh my god. You owe me a Coke bowl. Never mind.
Yeah, if you like RPGs and that open world exploration,
then
ton of side quest stuff.
They also have the Witcher or the contracts where you can go fight monsters. Then you can actually find treasure maps. You can scout around the map to get better, to craft better gear and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that you need to be understand how RPGs work and RPGs kind of thing. Whereas for me, I'm not, so it's very overwhelming for me.
Yeah.
See, when you start thinking RPGs, I start thinking Final Fantasy. That's right. For me the bee's knees when it comes to RPGs.
I mean, one of the things that help you do have to do some of the side quests, but you don't have to do all of them. I'm going through a point. I'm doing most of the side quests, and I'm above what's recommended for the main story. So I mean, you don't have to do every single.
Right. I mean, I once I get back to the planet again,
it always helps to have a game plan.
Yeah.
That sounds like, all right, I want to do this. I want to focus on this a little bit, or you can just say.
But it's definitely a game. That's not a game you just pick up for 10 minutes, and if you're 15 minutes, when you got time.
No, at least a couple hours.
So, very interesting.
Okay, well, after The Witcher, since y'all are talking RPGs, why don't you go into Fallout 4?
Oh, good call.
Oh.
So the Fallout 4 trailer got shown.
I'm excited.
Andrew was a little excited. He was a lot excited.
Yeah, just by my background on my phone. Fallout lady.
The trailer looked cool. I know. Yeah. I didn't play any of the other Fallout, so I don't.
I played an hour or two. I got out of Fallout 3. I got out of wherever buried underneath thing you are in, and started walking around the world, and I got lost, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's definitely said like Skyrim, sort of like you're just kind of like let loose, and that they really let you just do whatever you want.
Okay, so you see what I'm saying with that? It's like okay, it's completely open, which I like. I like open, but I even go back to like the Nintendo where Dragon Warrior.
Yeah.
There you go down, you keep going down until eventually you start fighting monsters that kill you with one hit.
Yeah.
They look at you. That tells you you're not supposed to go down here. Fallout did the exact same kind of thing. I died eventually, but it wasn't until I got way out of the way, and then I was like, okay, now I've lost, because you're penalized, or either I lost some stuff, or it made me go back, and at that point, I'm like, well,
you load your last save.
Yeah. I think it saved when I was out there.
Oh, and you didn't save?
Right. So, again, I didn't know what to expect, that kind of thing, so it just lost. Granted, I didn't give it as much a chance as I probably should have, and it looked amazing. Don't get me wrong, it looked amazing. It's just okay. I don't have the time or patience to walk back 15 miles because I just spent 20 minutes walking out here. Now I got to walk 20 minutes back to get to the starting point, and then pick another direction that the exact same thing might happen because I have no idea really where to go.
Yeah, well, they have their mini markers, but I can see what you're saying. It's not like the way Fallout and Skyrim is like you have a compass and you have like a little tick right there say go this way, and I can see where you can kind of get lost.
But with Fallout 4, it's like, I mean, the trail looked cool, so it gets me intrigued.
Yeah.
But trying not to cough on the mic, that should be interesting. But it's one of those things. I hope, like, I've never played any other Fallout, so if I'm going to play Fallout 4, I hope I don't have to know what Fallout 3 or 4.
No, because like Fallout 3,
I'm dealing with a new Vault, anyways. Apparently.
Yeah, I think that's.
I don't know what that means, but they're like
Vault. I don't either.
So, but I mean, it's like Vault 101. I know is from Fallout 3.
That's Fallout 3.
So this one's 111.
Yeah, I don't know what the Vaults have any correlation to each other, but it's pretty much all the games are set post-apocalyptic, and it's. Of course, I've never played the first two on PC or anything. I'm just going off Fallout 3 in New Vegas. But there's all separate storylines. I mean, you have same basic characters like Brotherhood of Steel, the Enclave, and stuff like that. They're doing stuff, and you can choose how you want to handle them whenever you encounter them. But, of course, those guys weren't in New Vegas. That was just a whole other sect because it was on the other coast.
Right.
So you just had a whole other group of characters.
Where's Fallout 3 based in?
DC, Washington, D.C.
Okay.
But it has like the Capitol buildings. You can walk right up to the messed up Washington Monument where a bunch of super mutants are camped out with miniguns. I kicked my tail the first time I saw that. But
that's where Fallout 4 is based in Boston.
Yeah.
So, hey, we've been to Boston.
Yeah, we've been there a couple times.
Which I will probably try and go again next year.
That'd be awesome. But,
I turn all my notifications this time so PAX doesn't freaking screw me over.
Yeah. But the
Side note.
Yeah. The big thing I like about Fallout is I think the writing was really good. It's kind of interesting, especially in New Vegas, where you have to make a bunch of choices. And I literally had to put down. It was like I had a Christmas where I had to put down the game. There were 4 options I could have went. I wasn't sure, so I just kind of put it down and gave the game a rest for a little bit. But the guns, crafting guns, all sorts of cool little guns. You have plasma guns, electric guns that shoot little laser beams, and just good old-fashioned bullets, which I like. But just being able to find stuff, get more stuff, get more stats pumped into your character to be more accurate with certain guns, better lock picking, and it's just that. So I think the writing's pretty good in those games.
So I'm curious to see more from Fallout 4, which they'll show at Bethesda's. We'll show at E3 their thing on Sunday night.
Yeah, I mean, if you look going into Fallout, it's pretty much the same sort of quest structure as any RPG like The Witcher. It's all right, you're free now. This is where you're supposed to go, but if you want to wander, you can. But yeah, it's pretty much set up the same way.
I'll end up getting into hating it for some reason because I don't like. I just don't do well in those games. Maybe I'll like it. Maybe it'll be the game that.
I think some of the reasons I don't like. Well, no, I won't say don't like. I get frustrated with that is because I have a limited playtime.
Right.
having a 4-year-old at home, it just doesn't always like I got a couple hours I can play. After you've spent an hour and a half wandering, and you found out that hour and a half was the wrong kind of wandering, it's like, well, I don't want to waste another hour and a half doing the same kind of thing. So that's where I get locked in at.
Well, the way I mean, usually when you wander, you can find some good stuff. Like in Witcher, it's a lot of crafting base, and in Fallout, ammunition. Some ammunition is really hard to find, but the basic ammunition, like you basically go out to like scavenge. If you like wander off, you can always find something, so it's worth it. Like maybe find a new cool gun, or maybe find some people that you need to help or something like that. But I don't remember too much in Fallout 3. There were some tough bosses, but it's not as like clear cut as The Witcher, where like in The Witcher you're level 9, and all of a sudden you come across a bunch of ghouls that are level 23, and you're like, well, can't do that. But in Fallout, I think it's a little bit more lenient with that, from what I remember from playing it.
That's good. You go dress as a Vault Hunter when we go to PAX.
That'd be awesome.
You should.
I remember to.
Yeah. I got my Watch Dogs thing I got to still do.
Yeah.
That was another random side note about PAX. Which, Chris, you should go to PAX with us.
I would love to go.
Boston's
fun.
Lovely.
Boston's a lot of fun.
Yes.
I could dress up as a hunter.
You could.
My crab mac and cheese was...
yeah, with shrimp on it. It's like, why not?
Oh, God, it's so good.
That does sound good, actually.
It's mac and cheese and had crab in it, but you're in the Northeast there, so it's like, you're in Boston.
Yeah. Fresh
you got
fish.
legit crab. Oh, so good. That was a couple block walk. We had to walk to that one from our hotel.
It wasn't bad. Probably like 10-15 minute walk.
Yeah, but it was. You should go. Just saying. I'll let you know when the tickets go on sale.
Well, it's not me you have to worry about.
Yeah, it's true. I'm saying if we don't do the beach trip, then we'll, that money can go towards the trip to Boston.
That's possible.
That's a random side note.
Yes, I want to go tangent.
Yeah, so I actually turn on notifications for PAX on my Twitter.
That's good.
So that when they go on sale, they won't screw me over like last year.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Which worked out anyways, considering we had the freak snowstorm of the century.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of glad, because just hearing other podcasts saying people went to PAX, it's just like you said, then they shut down the transit system.
Yeah, the trains got all freaked out and everything up there in Boston for like a month.
I don't mind the snow, but I don't like walking through my waist in snow.
Yeah. It would not have been fun. So we've done the RPG stuff, so let's go to the first-person shooter stuff. Yeah. So we'll talk Destiny's House of Wolves now it's out. We talked last month's episode was where we talked about what was coming from House of Wolves, but now that we've actually played House of Wolves, and I actually played for the past week.
Yes, you two will be speaking mostly about that, and I'll have questions.
So Chris, what are your thoughts?
They got a lot of things right. Of course, it's not perfect. It's not, by far like a whole new game set, but they learned a lot from the Dark Below, and
they fixed a lot of things that
they fixed a ton of stuff.
Me
they fixed a ton of stuff. What's the number one thing they fixed? The leveling of guns. You did not have to level your gun up again. In fact, they went, and I think above and beyond, to the point now when you get weapons, you get gear. If it's House of Wolves or the new exotics, all the actual armor and light level stuff that you would go through and get, that's done. That's already done for you. Light level's maxed out. Everything's maxed out. The only thing that you really have to level up is 3 or 4 spots for whatever the special perks are on it. So
I noticed that with the Armor 2 stuff I got from the
it makes leveling up equipment and a whole lot better, a lot quicker. So instead of having to go through the whole chain on a new exotic gun, you only have 3 chains to go through. Now it takes a little bit longer, I've noticed, with these. I don't know if anybody else has gotten it, but I'm still getting notifications like where that spot should have been. I get a notification that says, "Oh, you've leveled it up," and I go and I'm like, it's like halfway through the circle. I'm like, no,
I got that with some of my armor stuff.
Yeah,
it was like fully loaded, and I go and look.
It's like sometimes the notifications they're coming in where it would have been, but other than that, it still is quicker. So it's kind of nice to instantly equip something and have all the light level, which light level makes all the difference in the world. So like if you're a level 32 versus a level 33, I did a little experimentation a couple weeks ago and just had the same gear, and I would switch the gear out, so I was 31, 32. Now I'm a 33. Now I'm a 34. Just to see exact same enemies at their same levels. I'm the one that's changing what was the damage difference on the exact same guns, and it was pretty significant. And it makes an all-around thing. So
That's where I was like, for me, when I started playing again like last week, I was 29, so I hadn't played in a while, and I was able to do the exotic shard on my helmet for my hunter, and instantly bumped me up to like 31 or 30, I think 31, and then changed out the new crucible armor stuff, so I'm at 32 now. And then I was so happy I did this. I had 2 icebreakers, and for the Dark Below, when that whole you had to trade in with Zer and all this other stuff to level it up, I was so mad about the idea of doing that I put the fully loaded one in my vault that was fully maxed out and just left it, and I took the other one and traded that in with Zer. And so when this new one came along, I still had a fully upgraded icebreaker sitting in my vault. Grabbed that to the exotic shard, it went from 300 to 365 damage, and it's still fully maxed out now. So I was like, oh great, I don't have to worry about leveling this thing up ever again.
So what you're talking about is right now with the new system is if no matter what it doesn't matter if it's maxed out or not. So if you have an icebreaker or an exotic from the previous DLC and it's not maxed out, if you instantly ascend it, which is only like 250 glimmer, a few weapons parts, and then an exotic shard, it automatically jumps the damage up. It jumps the light, if it's armor, it's going to jump the light level up to the new light level. You still have to go through and finish maxing it out on
Correct.
the original difficulties, but it still jumps up everything as is, which is kind of nice. So basically, I went through and I haven't done all my exotics because some of my exotics I could take or leave. I haven't used them a whole lot, so I didn't waste the time with them. But for the most part, 2 or 3 exotic weapons or armor on every character I went ahead and did just so I'd have that extra damage and have that extra armor and light level. Now, to get the rest of the armor, you have to go through Crucible, you have to go through Trials of Osiris, you have to go through the Prison of Elders to get the new stuff, you have to get armor cores to buy the new stuff from Varix. You still have to go through and get the stuff from the Trials of Osiris, which have yet to sample the Trials of Osiris. I'm kind of curious. It sounds like a lot of fun, could be frustrating, but...
God, me, Zoom, and Ra went into that on Saturday kind of thing, but I was still 29 at the time, got wrecked. Of course, everybody freaking uses Thorn.
That's what I heard.
Thorn is like the super weapon, and if you're going to multiplayer like the Iron Banner or
power
where your
levels
power
make a
and your
difference.
levels matter, Thorn is what everybody is using right now. Plain and simple. If they're a 33 or 34, they're going to shoot at you with a Thorn. Guaranteed.
Well, that's because it's going to do the initial impact damage, and then because of their light level, the additional damage afterwards is increased. So if you shoot somebody with Thorn, say it does 100 damage, for the next couple of seconds. If I shoot somebody with Thorn and I'm 4 levels higher than you, it could do 400 damage. So that's why everybody's using Thorn, is because it's almost, if you're high enough level, it's almost, unless they're completely full, it's almost an instant kill.
Yep.
All you got to hit them is one time, and if you hit them a second time, done. They're just
you're getting 2 shot by Thorn and you're done.
Yeah.
So.
Which I expect probably one of the hot fixes, because it seems to be, from what I'm reading on the Reddit and stuff, like it's a little lopsided now. It's kind of like where Suros is, and one thing Destiny's famous for is making those tweaks, whether we like them or not on some things. So I'm pretty sure you're going to see a hot fix for Thorn.
I would think. I mean, Bungie's smart. They see it. Everyone's using it.
Well, some of the other things, like with House of Wolves, let's talk about what other House of Wolves brought. They brought in, I think, like the new bounties. I like the new bounties that the Queen has, because there's 2 kinds of bounties the Queen now has. One of them, there's enemies in certain areas of the map. You just go find them, kill them, done. That's great. I like the event ones. The event ones basically are hunt bounties. You go wait for like a public event, like we do, like Defend the Warsat or whatnot. You wait to drop down, and you have to fight the wolves, and it's pretty, it's just something different as far as bounties. It actually makes me want to go do more bounties again.
Yeah, we actually did on Tuesday when they reset. Like, I went over there and grabbed all 6 of them, took care of them all. Basically, it's like they do like a wanted on like say the certain character's name or something along those lines. Which it's go to the Cosmodrome, go to this area, wait for like what's normally like a public event, but instead this time it's like they call a pack of wolves.
It'll be just a drop ship.
It's a drop ship that's just dropping
drop down
enemies,
a couple of vandals and captains, and then once you start it, it'll keep dropping like 4 or 5 waves of them, and eventually it'll drop the yellow bar guy that you're supposed to kill. And if you kill him, then you also have a chance you'll get a key. So you got about 60 seconds or a minute and a half.
Minute and a half.
there's a random chest now that spawns in the area that you're in. You got a minute and a half to find the chest.
Well, that's kind of cool.
And the chest, it doesn't have the greatest things in it. It's got stuff that's better than the normal chest that you find, but there's also a chance that you might get a treasure key, which that's the other thing. Also, every bounty that you do, the first bounty, they changed this, the first bounty you do for the queen each week with each character gets you a guaranteed key. That key is what you go into the Prison of Elders for. When you go into the Prison of Elders, you have different levels that you go in. And each level, of course, the difficulty goes up, but you get the better rewards. But the end result is you end up going to the treasure room, and there's 2 small chests and 1 large chest. 2 small chests can have the same kind of stuff that those they call ether chests. Might be a key, could be a couple ammo synthesis, maybe some guns, but nothing like too sporadic, too great. The big chest is where you've got a chance for an exotic or a specialty House of Wolves gun. Okay. Mostly queen. It's all queen stuff.
First one I ever opened up, I got a Galahorn out of it.
Yeah.
So it's
I haven't gotten an exotic yet, but I've gotten a lot of queen stuff, and that leads to the next thing. The next change that they made with the House of Wolves is the fact that you can re-roll guns. So now anything that's a House of Wolves gun that you get, you can go to the gunsmith. And again, it doesn't cost much. It's 1 motor light, like 250 or 500 glimmer, and a few weapons parts, and you can re-roll the stats.
Really?
So not the stats, but the perks. Excuse me. So if you have a gun, a rocket launcher, or whatever, if you have a gun that you like, the stats are looking good on, but you like, how many one-way tickets did? I don't know if you guys, but I got one-way tickets like all the time. Secret handshakes all the time. So guns that I like.
No clue what the heck those are. So
rocket launchers and shotguns, but the stats were great on them, but I didn't like the perks. They were just perks that were just meaningless for me, and that I didn't use them, didn't care for them. Well, what you can do now, if you find a gun that's got the right amount of impact or a lot of speed for reload that you like the statistics for, because again, all of that's already done for you on House of Wolves stuff. You don't have to keep going through and upgrading that stuff anymore. So like all the little shield symbols or all the little damage symbols, all that's already done. So you only have the perks, the special perks to level up. If you don't like those, you go to the equip it. You go to the gun master, and you go ahead and re-roll it. And I've re-rolled a couple of things, but you can get, what makes Fatebringer so much fun is the fact it's a hand cannon that's an arc damage. That's a vault hand cannon, and it's such a good gun. But it's a hand cannon with Firefly, which headshots explode, and explosive rounds.
Oh, nice.
So there's a lot of explosions going on. So enemies that are close quarters, you're doing a lot of kind of area damage, i.e. thralls. It's like the thrall killer. I mean, it just because they all run in packs like that makes a big difference. So you can get a hand cannon that does the exact same thing, maybe even with better specs. The chances are of what you're doing, it just depends on what you like. It is random though, all the perks. So usually it's like 2 main categories of perks, like 1 and 2. So you can't, if you like one but don't like the other, you still got to give both of them up. It's going to do all the perks.
Okay.
But that is an option.
So it's like if we both have the same gun, we could have like totally different perks.
Exactly.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and see, and some of that was what it was before. Was I could find a secret handshake, which is a shotgun that has different perks than what you could find, or buy. It's just whatever you got in the Nightfall. The other thing now that you can do is Etheric Light. Etheric Light only comes after the 34 Prison of Elders, or you can find it randomly, like with a Nightfall and stuff like that. It's not. The one critique I have is the Etheric Light does not drop as often as I was hoping it would. They're making
I
it work.
haven't seen one yet.
Yeah, I've gotten 2, and basically that Etheric Light lets you take a legendary piece of armor or gun that you have from the previous, could be the original, could be the first DLC, and it will upgrade it to the new standard. So if it's a gun, it's going to upgrade it to the 360. It's a maxed out. Cool. If it's an original gun, like Fatebringer is an original gun from the vault, so max damage is 300. The Vision of Confluence is a solar scout rifle, amazing scout rifle. Its max damage is 300. Atheon's Epilogue. Again, these are 3 guns that I have.
I like some Atheon's Epilogue.
I love that gun. I have all 3, and I have them on a couple of different characters, but they're relevant because they're primaries with elements. But they're very difficult now because they're, again, 300 damage. So I only use them when Void Burn is on or something like that. But you upgrade it now with 1 Etheric Light, it goes through, and now it's, instead of 300, it's 365 damage.
Right.
So I like the fact that they have now made not the previous DLC, but the original stuff now relevant again.
Yeah.
I actually have a Queen's sniper rifle because back when the game first came out, they ran the Queen's missions, and you got some Queen stuff. They never ran it again up until now, which was very frustrating because they could do the freaking Iron Banner every other week. But if you didn't like PvP, you were just screwed. So this was kind of thing. I have the Supremacy, and it's still in my vault. If I want to, I can ascend it right now with an Etheric Light and make it relevant again.
So you have something different.
Right. So that's what I love. I've got these old guns that are now relevant. Now, that just brings a new element to it. You can go through and run through the vault again and get the vault gear. I was dismantling vault gear for the longest time because it wasn't relevant. It just wasn't.
I like multi-class.
I used to run all the time. It's a lot more fun. We actually started running it on hard here recently, and I'm having a lot more fun with it now.
I would love to be able to play with you guys, but somebody needs it on the Xbox One.
I'm not sure who, but
it'd be great if they got it on the Xbox One.
It would be fantastic, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be fun. It would be great.
It would.
We could have
it's the very least they could do, wouldn't you think?
You would think. But
anyway,
hey, whatever.
Anyway. That in essence is what I liked about House of Wolves. Is it's not just a new set of DLC. They listened. Because I want to rant about this for a while.
You think?
I know, but anyway, they made a lot of things. They listened with Crota, which I still like the Crota raid and stuff like that. But even the story missions, I hated the story missions. I don't do the story missions if they're the daily. I don't do them. They weren't fun. I just didn't feel like they were fun at all.
Now, Destiny and stuff, since I've been playing the past week, it's I've enjoyed playing kind of thing, but I went and did the story mission on my own while I was waiting for somebody to get on, and that game's boring by yourself.
It is in essence. No, now the one thing you do have to do, like with Prison of Elders, you have to finish the House of Wolves DLC with each character. So I have 3 characters, so I have to go through the DLC with 3 times in order to get access to the house. And the reason I want the Prison of Elders is so that I can run it, because it's just like the raids and like the weekly strikes and stuff. So if you run a 32, a 34, or 35, which is the ultimate one, you can only run it once a week with a character. It's just like the raids. You can run it multiple times, but you're not going to get anything except access to the chest, because you'll go into the chest room. But you get an armor core, you can get a weapon core, an etheric light. You don't get those but one time. So if I've got 3 characters that can run it, then it's 3 times I can get 3 etheric light. And right now, etheric light is, like I said, everybody that I play with has had 2 to 3, if that, and that's the ones that I play a lot. So it's not. It's been out for a month now.
I guess for me, I have the House of Wolves Crucible armor is all I have, and my exotic helmet. So I'm at 32 and a half. So I don't know how I'm going to get any higher. I don't know how to get higher.
You got to get higher. You got to do the Prison of Elders, because for instance, the Prison of or the Trials of Osiris gear. See, Crucible gear is different than the Trials of Osiris gear. That has a higher light level. Also the Prison of Elders gear. It's just like the Prison of Elders gear is just like the Vault gear. One of the specialty perks in it is for the Prison of Elders. So
how do you get the Prison of Elders gear?
Varix sells it.
Okay.
But it costs an armor core, which you get an armor core from doing the Prison of Elders level 32.
Okay.
It's level 32 gives you an armor core, and then experience and everything, all the other stuff. Level 34 gives you a weapon core and an etheric light. So you don't get an etheric light till 34.
Okay.
If you do the 35, which is the last one, you get but one of each. You get a weapon core, an armor core, and an etheric light. If you just do the 28, you just get experience and ingrams. But
I've been doing the 28. It's because granted, I wasn't high enough to really do
right. And 28 is also the only matchmaking one. You have to go in with friends on the other ones. There's matchmaking on the 28 one, but the other ones you have to go in with 2 other people that in your fire team to do it. So it's very very raid like.
I would love to be able to do that with you. So you're higher level, and somebody else that had one other person. That's pretty high level.
One other person. I don't know who it would be.
And then you guys can help me get through there, and I could get this stuff. But hey,
absolutely,
it is what
I'd be willing to do it. I know
you'd be there for me. No problem.
I'm there for you.
You got
I'm there for you.
I know.
I care. We're getting mean looks from someone else. So yes, there's just a lot of good things going on. Not to mention that they gave you another social outing. You have the reef that you can go to now. So it's basically the tower. You have access to the vault. You have new bounties there. You can actually have access to your bounty board there as well. There's a cryptarch there. But that's also where Varix is.
Mm.
So, yeah, the only I won't say annoying thing is like Eris. If you're still doing bounties for her from the Crota DLC, you have to go to the tower to go see her.
Mm.
The gunsmith is at the tower. He's not at there, but it gives you again another dynamic. It's just another place to the go.
Mm.
So, and overall, I think they did the House of Wolves really well. It's difficult. When you go into the Prison of Elders, there's also from Halo, guys can modifiers. So you guys like no skulls are turned on and stuff like
that's
that.
Cool.
So when you do the Prison of Elders, there's modifiers that are turned on each round, and they're random. They change. I say random, but they change each week. Mm-hmm. So if you do a level 34 Prison of Elders today, and wave 5 is the Vex, wave 4 is the Vex, and it's Voidburn, that's what it'll be all week. Mm-hmm. Next Tuesday, when the resets, it'll change. Mm-hmm. So it stays throughout the week, but it will change. On
I guess
Tuesday
I didn't realize that changed with the Prison of Elders. Because when we played it again a couple days ago, and I played it over the previous weekend. And so it was like when we were doing this one, I was like, I don't remember there being this many yellow bar enemies this time as there was the previous time. Now I didn't realize they reset that wave stuff too.
Mm-hmm. It resets all of it.
That's cool. That's a nice thing that it
keeps
it fresh.
It mixes it up because like this week, I won't say it's easy, but the previous week it was a devil of a time on the 34. We were just having a tough time because it was a servitor that ate little yellow bar guys and refilled its health. Anything that refills its health is always a pain in the butt. So that one was a pain in the keister. This week it's a hive guy, a Fogoth looking guy, and all he does is hold you in place for like 10 seconds. So that's doable. Then the preview, like 2 weeks ago, I was doing it, and the dude was like making the floor like lava. Well, if you have a hunter, you only have like a hippity hop jump.
Yep.
Unlike the warlock and the titan, who can just jump in the air and glide for 5 seconds while the floor is on fire, there's the little hunter with the low ceilings, and he's just, hey, I'm just trying to stay alive. I'm just running around, I'm just hopping like a mad bunny trying to stay alive. That was frustrating. But again, I was only frustrated for a week, and then it changed. So there's a lot of different things, and a lot of things go towards you. There's a lot of modifiers that are actually in your favor. Like it can put Void Burn on, which is both, they're using Void weapons. If you have Void weapons, you use them, they're going to do damage. Sometimes it'll say Brawlers on, where that means your melee is like double.
Nice.
Which is nice. Sometimes it's Light Switch, which their melee is double. It evens it out. It's a random thing, but it's something fun that you can do. It's not meant to be, played by yourself. Again, Destiny's not a game meant to be played a lot by yourself. Now you can, do bounties and stuff like that, which I'll do a lot of times. I'll do bounties to get weapons and armor leveled up. It's a nice little balance there. But House of Wolves got a lot of things right that Crota got wrong. So I'm very excited for this DLC. It's added a lot of new elements to it.
It's brought me back. I've enjoyed playing.
And that's good.
From the Crucible stuff, like the multiplayer maps that they've added, they're actually really well designed. I like the structure of them, like the way they flow. There's no real major choke points or anything like that you got to worry about. So the map design is actually really well done.
One thing I really liked about Destiny is the way that they design their multiplayer maps. It's not like Call of Duty where you have, it's
dominating.
But it's just
you don't even have to say it. Call of Duty multiplayer is just ridiculous.
Yeah, the flow of Destiny's multiplayer, like it does.
Like you have ways
well.
Different paths you can take and stuff.
Their maps are designed well. Yeah. But these new ones, they're well done too. So I've been enjoying that. I've had some games where we just get freaking our butt kicked, and I have a 0.5 KPD, which for me is
terrible.
I don't do. That's not me. But then I'd have a game where it's like, oh look, I had a 6.68 KPD. That feels a lot better. I had like 20 kills, like 3 deaths. I had a 15 kill streak in that game. It was pretty awesome.
25. It's like 25 kills, not 20. 25 kills, not 20.
What?
That's what you're supposed to get.
Yeah, oh, sorry, my bad. I finished at 20 kills. I had another game I had like 34 kills or something like that.
That's better.
Yeah.
There you go.
I gotta get at least, kind of thing. At one point, there was one game we were playing where I had like half our team score. That was pretty funny. We won that game. But.
Yeah, the other thing, I wasn't expecting Etheric Light to be as hard to come by as it is still. But it is what it is. It's one of those things, you're not going to like everything about everything on it, but it was a DLC that was well worth it. Was it worth the wait? That's one thing I will say, that Destiny is starting to drag a little bit as far as the spacing between its content.
Also, since the rumor of the next content's not until September.
Which we'll get to that to E3 when we start.
E3 prediction stuff, we'll go with that.
But yeah, I think I could have waited this long if Crota had delivered what the House of Wolves delivered. I think I could have waited that long. That's I think what made this wait such a long wait was because we got Crota and it was like
Crota was not good.
It was not good, and the only good thing I can say is it was long enough that I finally upgraded all my guns again. I mean, I eventually did like you. I upgraded a few things, but then I just started playing it as frequently enough where I was finding the new versions of the guns, and it was just easier to get a new version of a gun and upgrade that than it was to turn in. And I don't know what it is about the House of Wolves DLC, but at this moment, I am like swimming in money. Glimmer.
They bumped up the Glimmer or something like that. For me, that was the other thing that kind of
I was like nitpicking at it right before the DLC.
When the Dark Below, I don't know if they messed it or something like that, but it seemed like it took forever to get Glimmer. And every time you wanted to upgrade your stuff, you needed the Glimmer, but I always never really had enough. But I ran through the story missions. I went from like 600 Glimmer. When I was done with the story missions, I had 13,000 Glimmer. And I mean, I turned on all the Aether seed stuff.
Yeah, you got to use those at the right spots, which make they help a whole lot. But there's a lot more yellow bars, which are worth like 25 Glimmer a piece already. So on top of that, you're getting those extra bonuses, and when you're getting the kills,
next thing I know, so I was like, I now have like 10,000 something Glimmer. I'm not struggling for Glimmer anymore, and that was the other thing that made me annoyed.
And
about
the nice
Crota.
thing with this is they gave you like Royal Amethysts for rewards on certain things, which are worth 5,000 or 2,500 Glimmer, which is kind of a nice little chunk, a nice little shot if you're struggling with.
Well, it's where you take it to like the Cryptarch, and you go like here, and he'll decode it, and he's like, here's like 5,000 Glimmer. And I was like, oh, thanks. So it's.
I mean, I'm to the point now where I'm just putting house banners. I've just been banking them in my vault. But I will say vault space still is an issue because I don't want to get rid of my old stuff because now you've made the old stuff new relevant again. Like you now make me want to go back and play the Vault of Glass to get a Cornflakes. That's what we call a Vision of Confluence. The Cornflakes or the Atheon's Epilogue or a Fatebringer, or there's still guns in there I haven't gotten yet. I want to get them because now, even though they're low level, I can make them relevant again. We did the Vault of Glass on hard the other day. I got 3 pieces of Titan armor for the vault that I don't know. I dismantled out 100 times just because they're not relevant. Well, I'm hanging on to those bad boys because if I eventually ascend those pieces, I would love to go into the Vault of Glass with maxed out armor like that and just see how I could do. That would be a lot more fun.
This is another thing I read on. I think I read it on Kotaku. And I meant to bring it up to you. There was this it's in a Google. I think it's a Google Chrome add-on. It's called like Destiny something. But what it does is it gives you access to your vault.
No, that's the Destiny app.
No. This is different. I'm telling you right now. It gives you access to your vault plus all 3 of your characters. And with one click and drag, you can drag and equip any weapon from any character onto your character on the fly. Wow. So if your Titan has some gun that you want, but you're playing as your hunter, you can open up this app, grab it from your Titan, drop it into your hunter, and your hunter will instantly have it.
That's what the Destiny app does.
As from all 3 characters, drop it to. It was something about like drag and drop. They were saying because
it's the exact same thing. That's what if you download the Destiny app. Like I have an Android phone, and if I go into it right now, I can go into my hunter, take something from him, which is what I did. I didn't have a key from my hunter, and I was helping somebody do the Prison of Elders. So at the last second, I was just like, hang on a second before we open up the chest. Went to my Titan because I knew he had one. Got one, moved it over. The only thing you have to do is you move it to the vault first. So everything goes to the vault. So you take it.
That's where
I think it might be
that's where we're talking. The difference is you can do that from drop to the character to your vault and all those other things. This one, you could stayed at the Prison of Elders and instantly had the key.
That's what this does.
Without having to go to the vault.
I don't have to go to the vault. What I'm saying is, on this, when I go to it.
Oh, you grab it from the vault. And
what it says is it'll say move to vault. I say yes, and then I go to my hunter and say take from vault. So I go to take from vault, and then it's sitting in the vault. So I just tap on that, and then it pops right up on the screen that you've got it.
Okay.
Which, again, Bungie gets a lot of credit. I've never seen a game with a companion app that is relevant as this is, because that makes all the difference in the world. Torch was famous.
I think this thing has like basically the main thing behind it is you don't have to do the drop and bolt, pick from bolt. Like you go from Titan to Hunter. But
literally talking seconds difference, so it really doesn't matter to me. But like Torch, he's kind of character who he takes a lot of guns and puts them all on one thing. He puts all his resources in one thing. So then when he plays with multiple characters, he has to go get everything, which that made the app a lot more relevant for him. For me, it was more or less, if I know I need something and somebody's got a lot of, like my Hunter's my primary character, so it tends to have more of everything else, then I'll get stuff from him. But for the most part, I let my Warlock has a set of gear and guns that I just run. I have one Gallahorn. Well, I stopped trying to go, and move the Gallahorn around. It's like, I only have one. Torch has 17. I have one. I'm happy with one. I'd like 2 more, but, one is, I'm not complaining. I have one. But I'm not going to move it around. I make myself, okay, I don't have a Gallahorn. Well, what else do I have? What can I get, And it adds a nice little, for me, it adds a little bit more flavor to the fight. Because not only does it force you to do something different, but it makes you think, how you play differently. Okay, well, when I played the Prison of Elders the other day with my Hunter, I was one of the more aggressive ones because I had the Gallahorn, and a lot of it was like hit him hard, hit him fast, get it done. Well, then I played it with my Titan, who does not have a Gallahorn, and the closest thing I have is the Hunger of Crota, which just is not a Gallahorn.
That's when you smash him if you're the Titan, right?
Yeah.
He's going and smash him.
I have a set of gauntlets that I can't wait. It does area damage when you do smash.
Oh, really?
When you punch something.
That's the one thing I love to do with the Titan. Just like, there's a group of enemies.
He's a bruiser. I love him. But I had to, like, okay, I'm going to either have to be defensive guy or support guy, use an icebreaker. I was like, I can't do the same role. And it switches it up. And like I said, that's what I love about it. But that's enough about Destiny.
Destiny rant over with.
Yeah, Destiny rant over with. So let's go to the Halo rant, which I know you guys. Yeah, you guys have been chomping at the bit for this.
So Halo 5 news came out from Game Informer, leaked a bunch of stuff about that. Main thing about the story, that it showed that you're going to have 2 teams. Like Master Chief's going to be with his team, his blue team, but
this is awesome.
Linda, Fred, and Kelly, who are his main crew. Yeah, like when he was taking the books and so along those lines. Like Linda's the really fast one, Fred's the really strong one. But they all had their own roles and so along those lines.
And Linda was a sniper.
But the nice thing with the story and stuff, like when you're playing with, they'll always be with you. At least for the whenever they're supposed to be with you, you can give them commands. So you can say like, Fred, you go get in the turret. Linda, you attack this guy and stuff along those lines. It's very, I think they said it's like very, like Star Wars Republic Commando.
I was getting ready to say Republic Commando is what it sounds like.
Well, apparently they got one of the like lead designers or something like that for Republic Commando. He's now working at 343.
Nice.
So it's very all of a sudden it's like, it makes sense of why that's in there. But then the second team is, I think they're called Fire Team Osiris, which is Locke's team.
Oh yeah.
And one of those is Buck
from
Nathan Fillion from ODST, and he's the best character. I love his banter.
Well, I saw that. I was like, that's pretty cool.
So the fact they brought him back is really cool. But he's a Spartan 4 now, so he got the upgrade.
Yeah.
But they all hate Master Chief. Why?
Again,
I have to reiterate that Master Chief has saved the world.
Right.
Okay. I just want to throw that out there.
Yes.
Like anybody who's living and breathing owes it to Master Chief. Let's just make sure we understand it. So this is what I'm having a hard time wrapping around.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's kind of cool. Is I don't know, one of the marketing campaigns they've been doing is that called Hunt the Truth. You've been listening to that? Because the last episode comes out on Sunday.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we're recording this on June 13th, so I'm just going to date it right now. Well, Hunt the Truth is like a 12-part series where it's like an audio story where this guy named Ben, he was tasked to write a puff piece on the Master Chief. And so he got interviews and all these other things. Well, as he starts digging out, and he finds out that it's not true, what they're telling him. He wasn't some 16-year-old that was excelling in boot camp. It's like, no, he was kidnapped at 6 years old.
Yep.
And taken and genetically modified when he was 12 to be the super soldier. And so it's cool as it mentions stuff from the book of Fall of Reach that were some of my favorite scenes, like the boxing scene and stuff like that. We beat the crap out of 4 ODSTs. and it goes into the story. Well, apparently, like it's the stuff that's gone out is about like where Oni has
Secret Service for the UNSC.
secret and stuff like that. But they have like stuff got leaked out. They think the chief is trying to help the Covenant, and like his Covenant leaders and all this other stuff. When actually he actually saved them. Right. As part of peace talks and stuff along those lines. But it's just stuff that's gone out. They think Chief is a traitor. At least them thinking he's gone AWOL. He's gone AWOL. He's not responding, but he's not taking orders anymore. And you saw that in 4 when.
No.
My favorite thing in that whole campaign when General was like, "Give me that AI," and he just looked at him and went, "No." And I was like, and then he was like, the General being like, "Arrest this man." And Chief was just like, "I don't have time for this. You do this. You do this. I'm gonna go do this."
Yeah.
And Chief's starting to now realize here he's thinking on his own. Because for the longest time, he was a weapon. They said go do this, and he went and did it. I mean, the Spartan program was initially meant to take out the resistance from the outer colonies. Like that's what the whole Spartan program was designed for. Was the outer colonies were against the inner colonies of government resistance and stuff along those lines. It just happened to be that look, we got all these super soldiers when the Covenant showed up.
It's like, change of
And
plans.
so now we have these super soldiers to be able to take them on. The Spartans were never really designed to be alien hunters or alien killers. They were there for resistance and government resistance and the rebels and all these other things. Just the Covenant showed up and they're like, hey, we conveniently have these super soldiers now. Let's go ahead and use them for that. And then that's when the stuff came out about the chief, like to the public. And it's like, here's a super soldier, blah, 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 blah. So the story stuff is pretty cool. There's also going to be multiple designs to the story. You don't have to take it on in one way. Like there might be you go do it one way, but then the next time you go play through it, you might be able to like sneak around or be stealthier.
More options to go through those.
More options to go through it. Like multiple side routes. A lot of banter will be between the guys. So I think they're trying to, because you won't have Cortana with you, so they're trying to fill that empty vocal stuff like with banter from your characters and stuff along those lines.
Aren't they supposed to have like sort of special abilities for each one, possibly, or is that?
Each one will have their own loadouts or something.
Yeah, will you be able to play as them, or you?
Yes. Well, you'll always if you're playing by yourself, you'll be the chief. But if say all 4 of us want to do co-op, you would take over one of those people. You're not going to be a chief clone.
But if I'm playing by myself, can I assume the role of one of the other ones?
No, you
and
let
AI take over for Master Chief.
No, you'll always be chief.
Which is good.
But if you're going to do co-op campaign, it's not like you're going to have 4 Master Chiefs running around all of a sudden.
Which always broke everything.
Broke the story idea. So the idea behind it is that you're going to have so each person will be their own character, kind of like what they did with Halo 3 when you had like the 3 elites that were randomly with you. But that was never really part of the story wise. This at least will be part of the story where you will assume the role of Linda or Fred.
Yeah. So Arbiter, is he making a comeback?
I'm sure Arbiter, he's going to be there in some way, shape, or form. I don't know if you'll play as the Arbiter or not. I don't think you're going to play as the Arbiter. You'll, I think that the main story thing is going to be between the Chief and Locke. Those are your 2 things that are going to be between. So whether or not you're going to bounce between the 2 stories, like you're going like they did with Halo 3, or Halo 2. When you bounce to the Arbiter storyline. I don't know if they're going to be like you're going to be playing as Chief, then you're going to play as Locke.
Well, that's one of the things that made me like kind of fall back into it with Halo was when Halo 3 segregated the storyline, and I'm like, okay, the voiceover for that Arbiter and the character design was like, okay, I like playing him as him. I like getting his perspective. At first, I didn't care for it. I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to be Master Chief. It's Halo. I'm Master Chief. I don't want to be the Arbiter, but then I was like, oh, I'm really digging being
That's
the Arbiter.
That's fun because they give you right when you're there, you get the energy sword right away, so you get to have fun with that.
Well, that's fun, but again, for me, Halo is not about the multiplayer. Halo's always been about the story. That's the one thing for Halo that made me want to keep playing it was the story. I love the co-op, but it was just such an intriguing story. And again, that's why I have a hard time. I'm like, okay, he's 1, 2, 3, and 4. He's saved us from how many different species and aliens and this, and now he's not following orders. Kill him. It's just like that doesn't necessarily. Isn't somebody at Oni like saying, hey, maybe we should just hold up a second and find out what's going on?
Listen to the Hunt of Truth thing. It's a very interesting kind of thing. But do you realize how corrupt and
it's like in the books.
Oni can be. I mean, it's in the books too.
Well, I guess so because
you get more.
You don't get any of that corruption. It's us versus the Covenant. You know,
Yeah.
you don't hear about
You're not
anything.
seeing the government background.
Yeah, you don't
stuff
see
that's
any
so
of that
that's where
background
it's
stuff. So I
coming
guess
from,
that's where I'm having a hard time. You know, not as in hard time understanding it, but it again making me intrigued where I would want to play, and I'd want to play co-op. How many people co-op can you play?
Four.
Okay. Because that's something I definitely would. This is a game that I would like to play the story co-op through and see it through the end. Now the multiplayer, you know, maybe I'll come back. Maybe this is the one I start.
I'm so excited.
The best news that they announced in that thing about the multiplayer was, besides the fact that it's launching with 20 multiplayer maps, which on itself is incredible, but they're going to have 15 more DLC maps by June of 2016 that will be free to everybody.
Yeah. That's cool.
Because they've realized that in the past, when they had DLC packs, when people didn't buy the DLC packs, it split their community heavily. When Halo 4, they saw a crazy amount of drop off, especially after Call of Duty came out. They saw a huge drop off, anyways. But then when the multiplayer maps came out, they saw an even bigger split. So now the idea that they're going to be giving multiplayer maps to everybody,
it's great.
It's a great way of keeping the community together. You can make all the maps relevant. You can tell they're trying a lot harder to. They spend all this time designing these maps that not that many people see, and those maps are designed really well. I mean, they're gorgeous maps, but they play well too.
Yeah, but if you're like someone like me, I might play like Halo 4 multiplayer.
Yeah.
I never would pay for the DLC because there's nothing extra for the story. You don't get anything extra other than just DLC maps. And I'm like, well, if the one thing that didn't bring me to the dance was multiplayer, why would I pay for the DLC for that? Again, the story is what brought it for me, which I don't expect more additional for the story. So why would I ever see these multiplayer maps like you're talking about?
But now this will give you a chance to have the multiplayer maps, and it keeps everybody together. So I like that idea.
That's pretty big, actually. Seeing how Call of Duty charges, what, $30, $40?
Isn't The Witcher?
Yeah, but still.
Witcher's giving out a bunch of DLC.
Yeah, that's what I was
the way The Witcher's been doing, they like slip in new quests, different gear, and just general bug fixes and stuff like that.
So it got me excited seeing all this news about Halo 5, and excited for E3 when that's coming up.
Yeah.
Of what possibly they're going to show there, which apparently they're supposedly going to show some new multiplayer experience, quote unquote. Either BTB or maybe they'll have some other format in there. I mean, maybe they go large scale like Battlefield. Who knows?
Oh my god,
it would be really weird. 8v8 is what I know of Halo, so if they went bigger than that, it'd be a little weird.
Crazy.
So real quick aside, since we're heading into E3. One of the other things that they announced was that Uncharted 4 Uncharted collection. I don't know if you saw there or not, where it's 1, 2, and 3 of Uncharted for PS4.
Yeah.
Gets me excited because I actually will play them now. I do have 1 and 2 on the PS3, but I couldn't stand that freaking controller to save my life.
Oh yeah.
And L1 and R1 aim down sights and shoot just broke me. So the fact that they'll be remastered, and I know that they'll change the controls to be L2 aim down sights and R2 will shoot, I'll actually play the game.
Yeah.
So that gets me excited.
That actually gives me a reason to want to actually buy a PS4.
Yeah, and then especially when Uncharted 4 is being delayed until 2016, it's gives them a chance to have an Uncharted game this fall. Yeah. So that gets me excited for that. Another game I saw that I don't know if you guys saw was Until Dawn. It's a PS4 exclusive. Did you see about that game?
Yes.
Which one is that?
It's the one. It's like a horror movie. It has Hayden Panettiere. She's in it, kind of thing. There's a last August kind of thing back in the Gamescom. They did a gameplay trailer, and so it's like 8 minutes of gameplay. It looks really cool, so it gets me kind of excited. There's some games coming from my PS4 that I'll actually play. So that'll lead us to E3. So we'll do maybe a couple prediction things of what we think, maybe 1 or 2, or then we'll see how right we can be. So I will start. So at Microsoft's press conference, we're going to see a Joe Montana Football 2016 exclusive for the Xbox One. Calling it now.
Really?
There's a lot of leaked stuff that came out. It's known Joe Montana Football is being made. But the biggest thing, it will have the NFL license, and that's the key phrase. So apparently they're saying there's loopholes in the contract that any third party it can only be EA. But if it's a first party title, they can use the NFL license. And considering Microsoft has a big marketing thing with the NFL right now. Surface tablets are on the sidelines. They're being in all the pregame shows. They're all using Surface tablets. That they would be the one, especially since Sony has MLB, they have the first party baseball title. It's the only baseball title out there.
Mm-hmm.
Football is the biggest thing in the U.S.
Yeah.
NFL football is the biggest thing.
Next to wrestling.
Yep. So I could see them partnering with Joe Montana Football, using the NFL license, and having it be their first party title. And the biggest thing, the reason I say is also because Joe Montana himself tweeted out when he was like, wow, it's really, back in like January, he tweeted out saying, wow, it's really beautiful. I forgot how beautiful it is here in the Northwest. And he's like, it's Xbox's campus is really huge. So why would he be at Xbox's campus?
Yeah.
There's got to be something specific.
The other thing that's tricky about that is when you're going to release that, because...
Oh, it had to be this fall. I mean, you have to use it this summer. I mean, July or August.
Yeah, like before Madden.
There was a whole big leak of like some guy on NeoGAF claiming he had some info, and that was one of the things that it would be released in end of July, which I'm a little fishy about because most rosters are nowhere close to being done. But I can see them sometime August, kind of like maybe a week before Madden comes out or something like that. Just get it out there. But the idea that it's a first party title and it's competition for EA, it's a competition for Madden.
Yeah,
so Madden is not good. Like I have Madden 25. I mean, it plays fine, but there's times like it's still the animation stuff. Another thing, it's using Unreal Engine, so that's pretty cool.
Really?
So actually, the idea of a guy diving and swiping at a leg, and then it hits the leg, and that guy actually stumbles because he hit him in the leg. It's not he's magically gonna all of a sudden be standing up and tackling for the ground. Yeah. So that would be my first prediction. So Andrew.
Well, this is one I really hope for. But obviously, there's been leaks about Gears of War, the first one. I want all 3 of those to be out.
So are you looking for a remake, like starting from scratch, new, or are you looking for a continuation?
Well, I think.
It's known they're working on Gears 4.
Yeah, they're working on it now. I mean,
Black Tusk even renamed their studio to the Coalition.
Yeah, the Coalition.
So they are the Gears studio now.
Yeah, because I would think Gears would be next year because this year is obviously Halo and Microsoft doesn't want to.
Microsoft is very big about they don't want to. They will alternate every year. It's what they did on the Xbox. It was Gears, Halo, Gears, Halo. Like they alternated years, so that's what they're getting ready to start on the Xbox One. So Gears will be next year.
Well, after Gears Judgment, I don't know. The DLC that became a game, because that's all it was a DLC.
And there was rumors of the Gears 1 remake, where it's just going to be the Gear Runs remastered version, kind of like the Halo Master Chief Collection kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, a Marcus
I'm just
Phoenix
hoping that's
collection
not,
would be great.
Yeah, I'm just hoping it's not, because it's not worth what. Even if they dropped it to $40, maybe get just the first game. But after you do
all of just Gears 1.
Yeah, I mean, after doing the Master Chief Collection, just releasing just the first one would be just kind of like
kind of like a little lackluster.
Yeah.
So Chris, what is your thought process for E3?
There's 3 things for E3 that I'm looking for. Now, some things I think I'll see. I'm pretty sure I'll see. The others I don't know. First is from EA. I want to see Battlefront. I want to see what Star Wars Battlefront is going to be about, because the information that's been leaked out has not got me excited.
Well, they had the stuff at the Star Wars thing.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not excited. There is no campaign. There is no space battle. So, I'm not trying to be judgmental because we waited so long for it, but I was a huge Battlefront fan, 1 and 2, loved the game. It was just so much fun to play. Again, it was just a lot. That's again a game with multi. You didn't play it by yourself. You played it with friends.
Oh yeah.
And it was just a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to it, but I'm looking forward for a little bit more information to make me more excited about it. The second thing that I'm hoping I see is something from Konami about Silent Hills.
Ooh. That'd be an interesting one.
It's rumored that it was dead.
Well, it's dead.
It's dead. I'd say it's rumored. It's rumored that it's dead, because I'm still holding out that they're going to do something, because it is it's like a Resident Evil franchise.
Did you saw the rumor thing that Funhouse put out there, right?
Yes.
About that Microsoft is trying to buy it to be an exclusive.
Yes.
Which
would be
But it's
awesome.
for billions. There's no way in hell Microsoft is paying billions for Silent Hills.
No.
Millions? Sure. And all of Konami's backlog catalog? Maybe.
Yeah.
But not just Silent Hill. But the biggest thing from that is because Phil Spencer's always been saying that he wants to have an exclusive type of title to fill a role. Like that's why they have the racing game is Forza, their shooter is Halo, their third person game is Gears. They Fable's like their adventure game kind of thing, supposedly. That's why they did the exclusive deal to have Rise of the Tomb Raider come on the Xbox One first and for a while.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to fill that action adventure role like Uncharted has on Sony. They wanted that for Microsoft.
And to build that brand to like Tomb Raider's no longer PlayStation, it's Xbox.
And so the idea of them going and getting themselves a horror game
would be interesting.
I could see them doing that to get a first party horror game. And Silent Hills is one that could be one that I can see them maybe trying to go for.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what, if anything, we see from that. And then, of course, the next installment of DLC for Destiny, which we already know we're going to hear from Bungie about Destiny. The next thing, the Taken King, is what they're calling it now. It's going to be, they're leaked out that it's going to be $40.
Now, the question when it comes to that, though, is your prediction for that. Will it be at Sony's conference? Will Sony give time to Destiny for them to show something else?
I don't think so.
I think they'd be wasting their money because they already snapped them up to be.
I think they've.
But they're exclusive for a year.
Yeah, for a year, and that's what I'm saying. I think they've ended it because the talk is that the Taken King. I'm curious if the Taken King is going to have the PS4 exclusive strikes, the multiplayer maps, exclusive exotics.
From what I was reading,
we're supposed to be getting it on Microsoft.
We get it on Microsoft when the year is up.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to buy the Taken King; it should be unlocked for you.
Right, but is that going to be a part of like the whole Taken King, like the whole part of the thing that when they're going to promote it, like when the Taken King comes out, yes, they might give it to everybody as an addition, but are they going to promote it with it?
Right.
Because the Taken King's supposed to have new planet, new places to go, new race. The rumor is Oryx, the father of Crota, is supposed to be the one in charge of that. So I still think $40 is going to be a hefty price tag. I would like to see $29.99, considering Crota was $20, House of Wolves was $20. So unless this is double your pleasure, double your fun for $40, I don't.
Fun is fun.
Yeah, fun is fun. I don't know.
I am making a T-shirt.
That's going to be awesome. But I was thinking I would be happier with $30, but it's one of those things, shut up and take my money. I mean, if they could charge $60, I'm going to end up paying it.
I've already told Bert I'll buy that for him as a wedding gift. So that's one of the wedding gifts because he was like, $40. I don't know. I was like, I'll just buy that for you for your wedding. Because he's getting married in September anyways, so might as well. Boom, there you go.
There you go. So then something he doesn't have to worry about. So those are the three things that I'm looking forward to hearing from. I'm sure there'll be other things that'll surprise me, but those are the things that I'm looking forward to hearing. Hopefully something from.
So for me, like the other things I'll be excited for is I want Joe Montana football to be real because I want to play a football game that's not EA and hopefully be good.
Blitz 2016.
That'd be awesome.
I would play that football game.
I would play.
We need Mutant League football to come back.
That too.
And Mutant League hockey. Great games.
Yeah.
So I guess my other thing I'm curious to see about like when it comes to I want to see Rise of the Tomb Raider gameplay for that. So I'd be excited to see stuff from there. I mean, I'm curious to see what they've been talking about, especially for Microsoft, that they got this rumored, like it's this rumored like new IP that they're going to be showing off. So it'd be interesting to see what that is. Ubisoft be interesting to see when it comes to like where we stand with the Division.
Yeah.
That's coming in February 2016. Where we stand with Rainbow Six Siege. Hopefully they give us a date for the beta.
Yeah.
Because I'm signed up for that beta.
Oh really?
So hopefully they give a date for that. Hopefully we hear something about the beta for Call of Duty. Which there will be my other random prediction for you. Call of Duty will be at Sony's press conference, not Microsoft.
Why would you say that?
Because Microsoft's exclusivity thing with Call of Duty has run out.
And Sony's up on sales right now. So
Sony's up on sale because when they were showing off Black Ops 3 to the media, one of the things that the media all of a sudden pointed out was they were being shown it on a PS4. So Call of Duty. More than likely will be a Microsoft's conference, but it'd be very interesting to see that they're not at Microsoft's conference this year. That they'll open because they open it every year with Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see what they open up with. Do they open with Halo 5?
They might, as much as they're pushing that.
And then the other thing I want to see at Ubisoft's is I want Watch Dogs 2 because I enjoyed Watch Dogs.
That was.
I had a great time with Watch Dogs.
I mean, it'd be around time for them to tease it, I would think.
They have to show something. I mean, it's been rumored that Watch Dogs 2 is out there, so I want them to show something from Watch Dogs 2. Maybe improve on the character a little bit.
Yeah.
Story a little bit because it was very lackluster there. But I had fun with gameplay, and those type of games I fall in and I fall down that rabbit hole and I'm gone. So those are the things I'd be kind of curious to see.
The only other things is I think Fallout 4 is going to be this year.
This year?
This year.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I want to see
been
more
quiet for 4 years since they made Skyrim.
Yeah.
So it's.
And I want Crackdown. I want to show more Crackdown because that trailer last year was amazing, and first Crackdown was so much fun.
I agree with that.
Jumping around.
So we're an hour and 10 minutes.
Wow.
So,
all right, so we want to wrap this up.
Let's wrap this up. I'll do tag games last month. So had a great time.
All right, I want to hear the chicken story.
The chicken story.
I want to hear the chicken
favorite
story.
moment from this, which Harmony, since she listens to this, her team won. They beat the crap out of everybody else. I was still the overall medal winner, so my personal goal was set. I have 97 career tag games medals, and 6 of them I played in. So that goal is so the chicken story. So we were playing Minecraft. So the game for Minecraft that we did was we made a board of like 12 frames, and in the frames we put 12 different items, and each person had their own workstation, kind of like shopping list is on the Let's Plays from Rooster Teeth and Achievement Hunter. So one of the items was a cake. So of course you need an egg. To get an egg, you got to get it from a chicken, and from the chicken you have to wait for the chicken to lay an egg, which it only does every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, I found my egg pretty quickly, and was able to get it in my chest and everything along those lines. Well, we had a rule we couldn't kill each other. Well, Harmony, had found a chicken. She was waiting for the chicken to lay the egg. So I ran by, killed the chicken, and kept on going. So that was one time I did it. And first she didn't react, and so I was like, oh man, did she not see that I killed this chicken? Because she just ran into her thing. I was like, or did she get the egg?
Chicken chaser.
And so she goes back to go. I was like, you do realize I killed that chicken, right? And she was like, you did what? It was really funny. So the next thing she finds a chicken again, and she says it in the mic. Okay, chicken, lay the egg before an alligator comes and kills you. I was like, you're telling me you have this chicken. I'm gonna come kill this chicken. So I go hopping out of my mind to get out of there because I was way underground. And Power Driven was playing with us. He was also one of us, and he was in there going, he's like, should I kill this chicken? And so she's standing in her full suit of armor between Power, and she's got the chicken behind her, and she's going, you won't kill my chicken. And so she's guarding this chicken. And so Power looks at her and goes, okay, I won't kill your chicken. Whole time he's staring at her, he sees me coming over the hill right behind her. I run up, slaughter the chicken, and take off running.
That's just wrong.
It was so funny. Especially her reaction of like, yo, what the? And then she started chasing me with a sword and stuff. So that was my favorite moment of all the tag games that we did. Of just that reaction of just killing. She eventually got her egg that she needed from like the third chicken that she found.
It's good that you let her finally get the egg.
She eventually got quiet and then announced that she had the chicken. But Chris and Promo Agu, he ended up getting gold. I got silver, so she ended up getting bronze. So we made sure that she didn't get gold. But that was my fun story. But taking us overall, we had a fun time. It was good as always. We had 31 different people got earned a medal.
Wow.
We played over 65 different games in that month.
Wow.
Harmony's team, it was like what was her team? I forget what her team names was, but it was her team just beat the crap out of us. So congratulations, Harmony. It was well earned. So it was fun. But that's where we're at. So adultgamer.com. Go there, sign up, play with us next year. So there's our plug, and we're gonna be done. So we're at an hour and 15 minutes. So this is our longest episode. Nice beefy episode.
Yes. We didn't even have Bert with us.
No Bert either. And I'm gonna make a T-shirt.
Fun is fun.
Fun is fun. So thank you for listening. And we'll be back next month. We'll see where we're at. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.